Hello everybody. So today I'm going to teach you how to install the Aero wheel wrap kit on your Model 3 Aero wheels. So what you're going to need is 2 wrap sheets. Each one has 3 spokes on them. The actual wheel only has 5 spokes, so you get an extra one just in case you mess up. So for each wheel, you should have 1 extra piece, which makes 4 pieces across the whole car. So what's included in here? You have your wrap sheets. You have install information, which will lead you to this video. You have a razor blade, and you have our contact information. So let's get started. These are relatively easy to install. Doesn't take that much time. Should take about 15 to 20 minutes per cap. And make sure that you have the time to do this before you start the process. And you can do them one at a time. Take it off the car, wrap one. It may look a little bit weird driving around like that, or you could do them all at once. Whatever your schedule permits. Just make sure you're not in a rush when you're wrapping your Aero wheels. So to start out, one thing that you will need is either a hairdryer or a heat gun. Now, heat gun is preferred. This is a very nice one that has LCD temperature controls. You want the issue with a hairdryer is it may not get hot enough. You should be able to get it hot enough. It just takes longer, more exposure, heating it up than if you have a heat gun. So if you do have a heat gun, that's definitely the preferred method. So let's get started. I'm gonna pull off the first piece here and start at the end and just pull it off the sheet. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you start with because they're all the same. But for demonstration purposes, I am going to start with this one just before the one with the air cut out. And that's because I want to show you something. I want to show you how to do that one because that one's a little bit different, even though each of these wrap pieces is exactly the same. So each one of these is the same. They can be used on any wheel. All of them are the same across the whole car, so you don't have to worry about that. Any one of these will go on any spoke. Now, what you want to look at is this little curve here and this back edge here. You'll see there's a little curve at the bottom, and that curve should line up with the curve at the bottom of the spoke here. So what you want to do is you want to align that to the bottom of the spoke, and then also line up this edge. It should not overlap. It should come right up to the edge. And so once you have that bottom spoke in place, the bottom curve there, and you have this edge in place, you can just press it down. And then you do that all the way up to about here. So you want to stop pressing at that point. Now, this edge over here, you start pressing it across. I am not going to press down the front edge of the bottom of the spoke, and that's because once we go all the way around, these will overlap. And once we get to the last one, we want to be able to have this piece to put over the back edge of this one. So let's just press out this material. It's really, really easy to get out the air bubbles because this the backing is specially designed to release air. So press out the air bubbles, get it nice and smooth. This edge right here, you'll see the edge of the actual top portion, then it slants over. You want to start at the bottom and just press it down once you get the air out of here and work your way up, pushing out any air bubbles or ripples as you go. So there's a little crease right here. You can lift up the material. It's very forgiving. You can lift up, reposition. If it's a little bit off, no problem. Just pull it back up, then push it down. Now, once we get up towards this front area right here where it curves over, if you look at the actual material, you'll see that it's not conforming to that curve, but it will. This is where we need to heat, because once you heat this up, we're going to push right into this center portion between the curve. And the reason you want to do that, the reason you want to get it warmed up and push in there, is because if you don't, once you heat this material, what happens is it loses its memory. So once we heat up this area, it's going to lose the memory of being flat, and it's going to take that curve that's there once you press it down. So that's why we heat up this, and it'll make it so that it doesn't pull up later, and you get a nice install that lasts a long time. So I am going to I have it set at 150 degrees, which is a lower end of where you want to be. You want to be between 150 and 180 degrees with this. This particular gun goes from 150 to 200 to 250. I'm going to have it at 150 degrees just to simulate what you might get with a hairdryer. Usually I would have this at more of like 200 degrees. But for your case, you're probably going to be a little bit lower. Once you get over 180, you risk damaging the actual material. So we're going to heat up this little area right here. And you'll see the material got really floppy right there. And that's what happens when it heats. It loses its memories, it gets floppy, and you're able to conform it to the curve. So now that that's in place, now that that's heated up, conform to that new curve, and it'll hold that memory, we can work up this top edge all the way up to the edge, push it over, and then flip this over. And I like to heat up this edge here. So that we get a nice adhesion on this top back edge. And that'll hold it in place. I mean, this wheel will be rotating as you're driving, 80 miles an hour pretty quickly. And you want to make sure that this is adhered properly. We've done a lot of testing with this over several months on cars in the winter, in the heat, in slush and snow and rain. And as long as it's installed properly, it will last you a long time. This wrap material is rated for about 5 years, 5+ years on the exterior of the car. I would say the life is a little bit less probably on your wheel, but it should give you a good long life out of this if you get it installed right. So now we're done with this first spoke, and we'll move on to the next one, this one right here. So again, same thing, and it's going to be the same process for this spoke as the previous spoke, except for we need to work in this area right here. So again, line up that bottom curve right here. Get the edge lined up, bring it right up to the edge, push up here, down to the bottom, push out some of this. And now on this one, since this one's already in place, we can actually push down this edge. So that we can push down that edge. That will cover the back edge of this one, and it'll hold each other together so that this won't peel up very easily. So, because that's this is going to be in a pretty tough environment, with sleet and snow and rain and spinning on a car wheel. So that's why we have it overlap each other, so that it forms a nice sealed ring around the bottom edge, and then on the top edge it curves over. So again, just push from the bottom up, clear out the bubbles, work your way up. Again, once you get right into this area, right here. We need to heat it up. This time I'm going to bring it up to 200 just for speed. It'll heat up quicker, get up to the temperature that we need it to be able to get that conformed. Push it right in. Push up to the top, up to the edge, over to the edge, push down the top edge right there. Okay, we don't have to worry about this back edge. I won't worry about that now. Actually, you know what? Let me do it now. Heat that up. Move it over. Okay, so now this is the one use of the included razor blades is on this area. And what you want to do is you just want to slice into it, because as you see it makes it's not going to conform into this area. It needs to be cut, but we're not cutting out the circle. We're actually going to put a slice in it from the middle, coming right down into it. And we're not coming all the way down to this edge. We're going about 1/4 of an inch from this bottom edge. And so now that slice is there, what we're going to do is we're going to heat up that material. Get it warmed up. So that it'll conform, and then we just press it down into that opening. Okay, so now that that's been pressed down in there, and it lost its memory and it conformed to that curve, you'll see on the back side, we have these two little wings, one on each side. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to just pull them around the corner, and that will hold it in place so that it doesn't come off. So you have these two little edges that have been tucked around the corner, and you get a nice sharp install here that has something holding it in place so that it's not going to come loose. So that is the regular piece, and then also the one per wheel that has the cutout for the air hole. And so now I'm just going to quickly finish the rest, come around back to this side. Remember, we didn't push this one down all the way. It is stuck a little bit, but once we get there, I'll just lift it up a bit and then slide it under. So let me do that, and then we'll be done. Okay, so we are to our last spoke. As you can see, these are already done. And we're going to want to lift up the leading edge here. It's not actually pressed down because we didn't press it down from the first one, it was just in place. So we're just going to pull it up a little bit back to around the end of the curve. And we're going to then take our last piece. We're going to get it in place, line it up just like all the others. And once you've pressed down that corner, you can overlap that. And now all the way around, each piece is overlapping the previous one. So that'll help them hold together that bottom edge. And so if you encounter, rough weather over the years, since these are overlapping, it's going to make it a much more durable install across the spokes. So let's just finish this one up quickly. All the way up. Push out those bubbles or those creases. All the way up to right about there. Just like the rest of them. Fold it over. Press them out. And if you do happen to get out or to get a crease in here that you feel like you can't get out by pressing it, you can always pull it back up. The material is forgiving, and it'll allow for you to do that. So, okay, let's get it right up to there. Last one, heat it up. When you heat this up, you're going to want to press it down quickly once you get it hot, because once it cools, it'll want to stay in the shape that it is. So you want to press it down as soon as you get it warm and nice and gooey, and then just work it up right up to the edge, across. Okay, so now we have all of our spokes in place, and what I like to do now is heat up this bottom area where they all overlap. What that's going to do is it's going to make that adhesive. There's a chemical process that happens once you get this material to heat, and it'll get sticky, and it'll make a nice seal across all of these overlapping pieces. So, final step, heat it up. And then just press it off, press it down around the edge. Okay, so that is it. This wheel can go on the car, and you could start driving right away. Thank you guys very much. If you bought one of our kits on Amazon, I can't thank you enough. We are here to help. If you have any issues with your kit, if you have any issues installing, contact us and we will help you out. We're always trying to make sure that everybody is happy, that they get their kits installed, that they customize their car the way that they want to, and just that your car looks the way that you want it to. And that's our goal, is to help you guys do that. So thank you guys, and your support is great. We're always trying to help the community. We are constantly working on new products, new things, and trying to price them as competitively as we can to get these out to you. And so thanks a lot, guys. Your support has been great. And until next time, see you guys later.